Hi guys, welcome back. So I don't really do a lot of fragrance videos, and it's because fragrance isn't my strongest point. Like, I can analyze skincare, I can analyze makeup, but when it comes to fragrance, it's not my strongest point. Like, I have a good understanding of notes and breakdown, but when it comes to, I don't know, like, you know, scent is a very difficult thing to describe, especially on camera, because at least with skincare and with color, you can see and you can kind of understand the texture, but mostly it's because you can see. With scent, it's something very personal, and scent is often perceived a lot differently by a lot of different people. So that's why it's so challenging to kind of incorporate scent into a video and just kind of explain it to you guys. But I figured, since we do have a very exciting launch when it comes to fragrance at Chanel, I figured I would just hop on this, I figured I would just hop on and do this video and just to kind of talk about it with you guys, so that you guys have kind of like a better understanding of what all of these scents are, what they mean, and I feel like I'm just rambling on at this point, but let's go ahead and jump in. So the fragrances that have launched, well, at the time that I'm making this video, it hasn't launched yet, but by the time I upload, it will have launched already. So the fragrances are called the Les Eaux. So it means the waters in French, and it means the waters of Chanel. So there are 3 of them, and I have one of them right here. I have a Chanel Paris-Deauville, and there are 2 other scents that come along with this fragrance. These fragrances, of course, have a lot of history behind them, because Chanel is actually very rich in history. So they really like to tie the history along with a lot of the products that they release, because it's a lot more personable and it's just a lot richer that way. They're actually all eau de toilette, so none of them are actually eau de parfums or perfumes. They're all eau de toilette, and each fragrance is inspired by citrus notes. And as I go on through them, you're gonna kind of see that these are kind of wellness waters. They're kind of aromatherapy waters. Each one kind of corresponds to like a mood. It could be a pick-me-up, it could be a relaxing one, it could be a romantic one. So you'll see that this one, it's not your typical fragrance. It's actually kind of ties in with nowadays, like, being, self-wellness and, just mood enhancers, stuff like that. So that's why these are eau de toilettes, and it's meant to be sprayed, all over the body in like a nice mist, as opposed to concentrated sprays. So of course, let's start with the bottle. The cardboard itself is, if I remember correctly, it is green, so it is compostable, and inside you have your fragrance, which is a different shape than what you would expect, because a lot of the current Chanel fragrances, they're either more square, they have more angles, none of them are as rounded as this one, but there's actually a lot of history behind this. So the shape of this bottle is actually very reminiscent of the shape of the original number 5. So if you Google, and I'll actually insert the video, or I'll insert the picture right here. If you Google a picture of Marilyn Monroe with the number 5 bottle, you're gonna see her holding a bottle that looks very similar to this. And that number 5 bottle, actually, it's not sold anymore, but I'm pretty sure those who are collectors probably have some. But that original bottle is actually inspired by the flask of the Duke of Normandy. And this bottle, this flask-like bottle, is actually inspired by the original bottle number 5. So this flask shape is actually, it has a lot of cultural significance to it when it comes to Chanel. And just like in Gabrielle, where a lot of the legal information is printed in the back of the sticker, the same thing with this bottle. All of the legal information is actually printed on the back of the sticker. So when it comes to eau de toilette, made in France, 4.2 fluid ounces, it's all printed back here. And on the bottom, it actually says Chanel in big letters. So this bottle is actually a lot more historically significant than you think. And it's actually very difficult to find the original Chanel bottle that actually has all Chanel on the bottom, because a lot of the bottles nowadays, including Chanel's, all the legal information is actually printed on the bottom, and Chanel actually, especially did this so that the Chanel would be printed on the bottom like it was in the original number 5. So now that we've talked about the packaging and the bottle and, its significance, we could talk about the fragrance. So I have Paris-Deauville right here. All of them are called Chanel Paris with a different city in it. So we have Paris-Deauville, Paris-Venise, and Paris-Biarritz, or Biarritz. And 3 of these cities hold a very significant time in Gabrielle Chanel's life. So let's start off with Deauville, because Deauville is the one that I have. So Deauville is actually more of an aromatic fragrance. It has a lot of greens, a lot of grass, it's very woodsy. There's orange, basil, rose, and jasmine in there. So Deauville is actually the city where Coco actually opened up her first boutique. It's about 2.5 hours outside of Paris. It's a very quiet and sleepy beachside suburban town, and that's where she first opened up her first hat boutique. So I would definitely say that this one is more of an aromatherapy, like if you're trying to relax and calm down and just kind of unwind, and if you're just trying to have like a relaxing day, I would go for this one. This one is more of like, it's like, you know, when you go into Bath and Body Works and you have like and you buy like a eucalyptus oil, or you know, just something that's a little more relaxing, a little more woodsy, a little more grassy. So this one in particular, like if you're having, if you need something that's just gonna help relax you and wind down and just kind of set you in the mood for like a more relaxing day, this one would be perfect for you. Just because of all the notes in there, it's just definitely more of a relaxing fragrance. So in complete opposite of that, the fragrance that's a lot more invigorating and a lot more lively and vivacious, it would be Chanel Paris-Biarritz. So Biarritz, or Biarritz, it's actually the home of the second boutique that she ever opened up, and that is where she helped the Queen of Spain, and a lot of tourists were coming into that area to shop with her. And that area, Biarritz, it's a very, very lively neighborhood. It's a very lively city. It's very invigorating. It's kind of like a surfing capital. People go there to go on a vacation. So the scent of Biarritz, it's a lot more dynamic. It's a lot more lively. It's very refreshing, it's very energizing. It has mandarin and lily of the valley, so it's a little more zesty, but then you also have a little hint of a smokiness. It kind of brings it home, and that smokiness is achieved with the Haitian vetiver. So that way you get a lot more of an energizing boost, like a little pep in your step. So if there's a day where you just kind of want like a more invigorating scent, something that's just kind of wake you up a little bit, I would go with the Chanel Biarritz, because that one's just more of an invigorating, it's a lot more energizing, and it's just, it's a mood boosting scent. And then last but not least, we have Venise. To me, I love the story behind this one the most. So Venise, or Venice, is one of the most romantic cities in the world. So I vacationed there recently, and there's something so beautiful and magical about that city. Like, it's a dream and a half. It's a whole little island connected by bridges, and it's just so beautiful, and I could see why she vacationed there. So that was actually the year. I don't know if you guys are able to see this freaking lash, but it keeps, oh my god, it is not staying, and it's a sign C. So the year that she vacationed in Venice was the year that the love of her life, Arthur Capel, or Boy Capel, died. So he died in a car accident, and her friend Misia was like, well, what better way to help you cope than to take you to the most romantic city in the world? So she vacationed in Venice so that she can cope. And here developed one of the most beautiful fragrances. So this fragrance is the most popular one. We do have it for people to smell, and everybody that smelled it, they've been so in love with it. They're like, oh my god, what is this? Their favorite one out of all three, because I would say it's the most feminine one. It's the most romantic smelling one, because this fragrance is inspired by tragedy. So it's a little more rounded. It has a little more, it's a little more oriental. It's citrusy. There's a little bit of neroli in there. There's rose, there's cedar, and then there is a hint of vanilla tonka bean, and that's what gives it kind of its creaminess towards the end as it dries down. And so this one would be a day where, I mean, this one would be a very date appropriate body spritz. It just kind of gives you a very like girly, very feminine, very rounded, very full-bodied like fragrance. It's like it's a different pep in your step, whereas the other one either kind of like enhances and gives you like kind of like a mood enhancer, or like a, you know, more relaxed vibe. This one kind of gives you more of like a girly, very feminine, very like, I don't know, it's just a very, I smell and I think like pink. Like, it's just so girly and so pretty. It's just like such a pretty scent, which would make sense because this one is inspired by a lot of love, a lot of loss, a lot of tragedy. There's a lot of emotion behind this one. So this one obviously just elicits a lot more of an emotion, and a lot more, it just pulls a lot more. Auxiliary like products like the lotions and the bath gels are going to come eventually, but right now all we have are the three fragrances. These fragrances are actually only exclusive to Nordstrom and boutiques. So Neiman Marcus doesn't have it. Like, you know, Macy's, all the other boutiques, all the other department stores don't have that. Nordstrom and the boutiques are the only places that carry this. So if you guys are interested in smelling it, or, you know, grabbing one for yourself, feel free to give me a call down below, because these will go fast since these are so limited to locations. So I hope you guys, you know, at least take a smell of it, or just based on your, you know, based off of my description, maybe there's one that you guys really want to try. I can always send you guys samples so that you guys can give it a go. But if there's one that you guys really want to get your hands on, make sure to give me a call down below or reach out to me so that I can at least get your orders ready and I can ship them out to you as soon as possible. But that is it for this video. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Sorry for like all the technical difficulties. Like I know I'm like still trying to work with this shirt. My eyelashes isn't working. I don't feel like my eyebrows look good. My hair's a mess. Like I just really needed to sit down this video, and I actually have to go to work right now, so but I hope you guys found this video helpful. Leave me questions, comments down below, whatever you guys want to see, make sure you address them. Or if you guys want, you know, more information about this bottles or whatever, just let a girl know and I will be more than happy to talk about it. And of course, I always look forward to hearing from you guys, and I always look forward to seeing you guys or meeting you guys. Like it always makes my day. But in the meantime, I hope you guys found this video helpful. Give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye.